Hello, all my entrepreneurs. This video is kind of specifically for stay-at-home moms, new moms, momtrepreneurs, whatever, but mostly people who likely or may experience a lot of stress in their day because of having so much on their plate. As moms, sometimes our job description is really broad and vague, so we end up taking on a lot and it can be very stressful. In several of my other videos, I've expressed how I felt stressed during this process. I thought that quitting my job was going to make me like stress-free and just so productive and all that, and instead my stress just went up and up. I would say in the last month have I really found a place where I wasn't feeling a lot of anxiety, and so I'm going to talk about some of the things I've done to get there. So the first tip for improving your time management, stress management, is prioritize. Prioritizing is difficult if you feel like everything's a priority. So you have to prioritize by deciding what has to be done each day, or whatever the time frame is, what has to be done, and what are some big things you can do that you can like break up into several days. Because sometimes it's hard to say, I'm going to clean the entire house on Mondays. Like, that's a lot. So maybe you're going to do one room each day, or even I'm doing all the floors, I'm doing all of the toilets, like something like that. And some things aren't going to get done. If you're trying to run a business or start a business, and especially if you're taking care of a child, some things aren't going to get done. And you have to accept that and like make sure whoever is in your house, depending on you, accepts that. The house may not be clean. You might not be as skinny as you used to be. All those things, part of it, you'll figure it out as you go along. Number 2, block your time off. So instead of, again, saying, I'm going to do all this in one day, you say, from this time to this time, I'm doing bathrooms. From this time to this time, I'm answering emails, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, if you can set parameters, that means during that specific time, you're only thinking about that specific task, which is going to reduce some of your stress. That really worked for me. Number 3, wake up routinely. Now, generally we do wake up every day, but the time we wake up can be all over the place. I try to wake up at 6, but again, I have an infant, so it's really hard to be consistent. This morning I was exhausted. I had spent like 3 hours in the nursery. Yeah, I was asleep most of that time in the recliner, but I'm still having to break up my sleep and go and do all that. And then my baby ended up in the bed with us anyway, which makes it hard to get up and get going. So if you can, do what you can do to protect that time in the morning so that you can get up at the same time and get things done before your kids get up, or at least like set some order to your day so it doesn't start off chaotic and you're not, the first appointment you have, rushing and feeling stressed. So for us this week, we said baby has to go back in the crib, which he did, but it's Saturday, so a little bit more lenient on the weekends. Number 4, no, it's not every day, bro. This is probably the wrong demographic to make a reference to Jake Paul, but I think their slogan is this everyday bro. Well, some things you're not going to do every day. This week, one thing that created the most relief for me was I said, I'm not going to try to go to CrossFit 4 days a week. I'm just going to pick 3 days, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That made such a huge difference because I didn't have this burden for not going on Tuesday or having this thing like, oh, I have to go every day. They don't have programming on Thursdays or childcare, so I can't go. And I had this sense on Monday that, okay, well, Tuesday is going to be a free day, so let me just get through this. I don't want to go to CrossFit because I don't want to get up and go and do all that. Like, I would rather just go to the gym and do my own thing, but I don't have childcare. Number 5, include things that make you feel your best. So since we had the military ball in November, and I had to put on makeup for that, and I bought like a palette of makeup, a Morphe palette, I've been wearing makeup, and I can't believe I just let that not be a part of my life for so long. And I've finally grown out this stupid pixie cut so that I can style my own hair somewhat. But anyway, I feel so much better when I take the time to put my makeup on. And I had been telling myself I didn't have time, but all this time I've spent doing stuff and not getting anywhere, I just took some of that wasted time and put on makeup, and I feel great, and it helps me to be more productive. So that's number 5. Number 6, remember, if you are taking care of a child, that's a job. So you used to pay somebody to do it, or you could, people pay other people to take care of the kids. Like if you're at home taking care of your kids while trying to run a business, that's another job. So you need to accept that that's going to take up time. Also, you do want to try to give some focused time to your kid so that they're not missing out, because yeah, you're home, you're working, but a lot, for me anyway, a lot of times my child is just like on the side, but I need to make sure I'm spending time giving him that undivided attention that he might even get at daycare, more intentional childcare. Number 7, which I think is the very most important, but it's not the last one, it should be the last one. Number 7 is know the difference in being busy and getting things done. I was so busy and I never got anything done. So what that means is you have to know where you're going. You need to know what you're trying to achieve and know what that path is. Now, for me, I just didn't know. So I was just doing all this stuff and it was making me feel stressed. And I would say the solution to that is, if you're feeling like you don't know exactly where you're going, don't think that just putting in more time is going to make it magically become clear. I think consistency makes it clear. So while you might have been trying to do all day, every day, maybe you're just every day you're working on your blog, you're working on whatever it is for a couple hours instead of 6 hours all over the day. That's still going to help you get further because it's still on your mind. You're still putting in work. But if you're just doing stuff and you don't really know why you're doing it or what the outcome's going to be, that's not going to help your stress. And then number 8, which is the last one, take action. So for me, one of the things that was making me feel stressed is my freelance jobs, the things I need to do for my blog. And it's just kind of like there in my mind, making me feel down or burdened. Just tackle them. Even if you don't get finished, doing some of it is going to help you feel less stressed. So those are my tips. I'll go over them real quick if I can. Prioritize, block your time off, wake up routinely. Don't try to do everything every day. Include things that make you feel powerful. Childcare is a job. Know the difference in being busy and getting things done, and take action. So those are your tips. I hope that helps you. And if you have any tips that you would add, leave them in the comment box, because I'm always looking for ways to be better and to be happier. So that said, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.